You guys have either made it to burgeoning blogger level or you are past this level. Okay. If you're past it, the reason I'm having you join now is because, you're kind of like some of my beta testers for this whole program. And so I wanted to show you guys, even if you're past this, what it's like to move up in levels and experience these kinds of master classes. So today's all about how do I make more captivating blog content. You guys, each of you have made such beautiful blog posts. And all we're trying to do is just figure out how to be better writers and how to make our writing more effective for our subscribers. Now that each of you are getting more subscribers, and Anna, now that you've created your blog, you're really thinking a lot about your audience as much as possible. So, how do I really get my readers to care about my ideas? The most important thing for blogging is to build trust. And there's a lot of ways to build trust, like, for example, having a consistent public publishing schedule. So instead of like them not hearing from you for a couple months and then they're just like, oh, I guess that person's just not posting anymore. But one other way is gathering that trust through storytelling. And I just want to encourage this as much as possible. I want to encourage storytelling as the most important aspect of blogging for you guys. So it doesn't matter what you're sharing. Like Anna, I know that you are going to be doing a lot with food. But I love that you titled your blog Stories to Food so that you understand that food is important to other people, but really it's the story that you tell about food that gets them really interested. And I do want to just point out that there are kinds of storytelling in blogs that can be kind of like gimmicky, where you're not actually telling a story. You're not like choosing a past moment that actually happened to you. You're maybe using like a very generic like, have you ever tried to bake a cookie with your eyes closed? I mean, like kind of gimmicky stuff like that. Maybe that's not the way to get people's trust. Maybe the way to get people's trust is to really tell them perhaps a story about last Thanksgiving, something that really happened. And you can use names like your mom or your grandma's name, or you can tell us your dog's name, something that's really going to allow them to see themselves in you and to have someone to relate to. They will feel seen and heard if they feel like your experience either matches their experience, or maybe you do something that inspires them. And maybe they want to have that kind of family moment with baking, and you can show them that they can have that too. So, through storytelling, you're really building a bond, a friendship, and a community. So, if you're doing a post and you want to show people, Kayla, for example, what to pack for a trip for a cruise experience. If you just list things out, are people going to feel that bond, that friendship, and that community? Or if you tell stories, then they're going to really feel like, oh, Kayla, I know more about her now. I feel like I relate to her. And it doesn't just feel like a list that could have been made with AI, right? We want to try to preserve our human experience. And they'll like want to keep knowing more about your life. Like if you give them your life story, they're going to want to know more in the next post. And that, of course, keeps them coming back for more. And also really gives you, space to have humor, to be vulnerable, and also to find support. So that storytelling, I want to really encourage you guys with your next post. Think very much about how you're going to tell stories. And another thing is just making sure that you have research in your blog post too. So even though we want to do a lot of storytelling, we also want to like find something new to share with them. So if you just do storytelling, that's okay. But if you are able to incorporate research, like showing, that you're really an authority on the subject, it really shows that you care about learning something and you care about getting it right, about knowing the truth, about being intellectually honest, and then bringing not just your views, but also the whole world of other people's views into your lens so that your readers' ideas get broadened. And also just having different voices pop up, having this tapestry of voices within your blog post. And what I really want you guys to do, each of you, for your next post, I want you to try to start incorporating clickable links. Now, you might have done this, for example, I know Evelyn, you did a top 5 post with the craft hobbies. And when I was reading it, I was like, please go through and add the Amazon links to all of these things that you're suggesting, because that allows them to interact with your blog post. If I see a link, my eye goes straight to it. And so be very meaningful about what links you put, but that allows them to further their own research journey. And if they feel like you're giving them something to take away from the blog post, not just, oh, I'm like just reading this just to read it, but I'm actually learning something, I'm taking something away from it, that will also help your readers build that trust with you. And they'll, of course, keep coming back. So add links whenever you can so that people can really interact. Okay, I've created this diagram of blogger perfection because I want everyone to not just stick to the same type of blog posts that you're comfortable with. So let's go over this. We have a Venn diagram, and on this side over here to the left, we have the comfort zone. In the comfort zone, you can really get stuck in here, right? This is what my readers expect me to publish, and it's the type of blog posts I always publish. Maybe I'm always doing a creative story, or maybe I'm always doing a list of things. Well, that's okay for the beginning because that's all your readers know, and they're like, ooh, this is new to me. So they will stay subscribed, but if you don't start creating new types of content and figuring out, okay, maybe I should do an interview next, maybe because they won't be expecting that. If you don't do that, they probably will just like get your content in their mailbox and they'll be like, oh, I already know the type of stuff she writes. So I'm probably just going to let that sit in my mailbox. The opposite side of that, really, really far over here, is a kind of danger zone where you're continually like posting content that they didn't really sign up for. They're like, oh, I really thought you were just going to do recipes, but now you're doing like fantasy fiction stories. And I don't know if that's really what I want. Now, you guys are at the place where when you're just starting your blogs, you're publishing about a ton of different stuff, right? You're doing contests and that's going on your blog. But as you move up in levels, as you get to become a better blogger, I want you to start thinking like, hey, Linnea, I noticed that my blog is featuring this type of story, but can we take that down and can I replace that with something that's actually within the niche that I want my blog to be in? And so that kind of communication back and forth with me will be the way that you create your blog to be something really special. But some of us are in their comfort zone right now. Some of us are in the danger zone. Who knows where we are? You'll probably get some unsubscribes if people you're continually giving content that they just like you didn't say that that's what you were going to post about. And then if you can kind of find a cool middle ground between comfort and danger zone, you'll be in this magical sweet spot wonderland where you know what your readers want and you're posting and publishing what your readers want, but you're doing it in fresh and unexpected ways. So, like I said, you have a top 5 list, but the next one you have a personal narrative, and then the next one you have an interview with a friend, and then the next one you do a video, and then the next one you do a podcast, blah, 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 blah. That could be just a really fun way for them to like not only stay subscribed, but when they do get your email, your newsletter with the whatever you've posted that month or that week, they'll be like, ooh, I want to watch this because I want to see what she's doing next in that magical wonderland. It doesn't, you don't, just do this overnight. It takes, a long time to develop these kind of things, but you might as well start thinking about it. And it's all a learning process. I do not expect anybody to be in this middle ground here yet. just because we have only just started and it's all just really just about having fun, but learning as we go. Just a little tip I want you guys to think about is if you have a niche, it kind of means that you're an expert in that niche, but at the same time, there's always so much for you to learn. So what I would do is every time you're thinking about a blog post, try to not only tell and share something that you're an expert about, but maybe task yourself with including something that's maybe just a little bit out of your scope so that you can do a little bit of research and learn and grow while you write. So you're not only writing about things you know, but you're using this as an opportunity to grow yourself as a someone who does crafts, right? So Evelyn, you might be like, okay, I'm picking up, I really know how to crochet, but there's all these patterns that like are kind of daunting for me as a crochet person. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to research those and I'm going to try them out and then I'm going to share that experience with my readers. So if you use this as a way to grow, you're not only benefiting your readers, you're also benefiting yourself too. Now, I think it'd be pretty fun today to just show you guys some variety of how to start a blog post. I mean, you guys already do really great at starting blog posts, but I thought it'd be pretty fun to show you just a couple examples to get your mind going. And you guys are going to do some examples as well, and hopefully use this stuff in your next blog post. So I'm opening up this doc here. And we're going to go through these different examples, and this will kind of be like a goodie bag gift for when you leave. I'll give you guys each a link to this, but for now, we're just going to go over the examples together. So I put over here what the type of sentence is. How do you kind of captivate your reader as you open up a blog post? So first, we're going to start with the question. Now, I want you to think, when was the last time you started a blog post or any type of essay with a question? Maybe you've done that. Maybe you haven't. Maybe it's something you want to try. But it's asking a provoking question that you know your readers are going to be thinking about. So, Nina Simon, she's my friend, but she's also a published author and a writer, and she has a Substack blog about writing. And of course, the people who subscribe to her are people who are interested in writing. So she opens with this. Does writing ever feel scary to you? Which is a great question because writing always is scary. So I really like that. And she knows her audience. She knows her audience is people who want to write but don't know how to write. So she has a really strong niche. My whole life, my answer has been an assured no. I love to write, blah, 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 blah. And then she says, until recently. So that vulnerability that we talked about, this is all storytelling. So wow, it's so cool that she, started with a thought-provoking question and then leads to storytelling and then has a kind of ironic thing that we didn't expect. Okay, that's one. Next one, repetition. I really love it's kind of like a rhetorical device you might see in speeches sometimes, but if you just use it very subtly, it can go a long way. So this one is about this Italian this blogger who writes about Italian travel. Some couples pick their honeymoon for the romance, some for the relaxation. We picked ours because I won a sales competition. Yes, seriously. So just a very subtle repetition can make your reader be like, wow, this is very artsy, and I'm listening. Okay, what about conflict and drama? Kayla, you want to go ahead and read how this person created conflict and drama just from the first couple sentences?
Earlier this week, I walked into my office and felt a wave of overwhelm. The whole room was chaos, stacks of boxes and bins, everything piled high and haphazardly from clearing out an old storage space. I thought, how can I possibly work in here? I considered just moving everything to the garage, but then I remembered. The garage is also overflowing with boxes. I also thought I was a minimalist. How did I end up with so much stuff?
Okay, good. So we have a lot of conflict, we have chaos, we have imagery. I'm getting stressed too just reading it. But it's also something that I've felt too, especially whenever I move. I know Kayla, you're moving very soon and you're probably going to experience this, but when you're packing stuff into boxes, you're gonna be like, how the heck do we have this much stuff? How can we do that? So I really related to that. Evelyn, can you go ahead and read how someone might directly address the reader?
I've been thinking about you, not in a creepy way or an urgent must call them stat way, but in a warm, curious way. It's been 3 years since I stopped blogging, and I missed learning out loud with you. I missed making friends on the internet and surprising ways we support each other.
Good job. Okay, so I just think that's so funny, but also really cute. Directly addressing the blogger. There's no better way to get someone to stop and like really pay attention when you say, "Hey, you." I really like that a lot. Okay, Anna, you're gonna read how this particular post shows that they're gonna give you something that not typically people talk about. Go ahead and read this, Anna.
Gift giving is both an art and a skill. It's also a muscle that can be strengthened. I see so many gift guides out there, and while they reference unique products, they rarely address the art or the skill of gift giving. It's not all about buying someone the
This is a weird word, chicest.
chicest, coolest new thing. It's about buying something they would genuinely enjoy.
Okay, good. So she's like, yeah, people talk about gift giving all the time, but what I'm going to give you in this blog is something that people usually don't talk about. And that's a really great way to start a blog. Okay, Kayla, it's back to you. This one's a play-by-play life snapshot. Go for it.
As you read this, I'm mere hours away from departing on an international flight for Norway. But for me now, as I write this, I'm knee deep in the buzzy beginnings of pre-travel excitement. There's just something about packing a bag as I prepare for an upcoming travel. I feel that familiar twittering of Wanderlust starting to spark up again.
Okay, good. So I love this. Of course, we have the direct address to the reader, but this sense that it's current, it's in motion. She's there right now as she's writing, she's talking to us. I really, really appreciate that. And I think that the storytelling element is really powerful there. So I'm going to be giving you guys each a copy of this. And so what you're going to do is whatever blog post you're working on now, you're going to practice doing these seven different openers. And whichever one comes out to be the best in the end, I want you to use that one. Of course, if you have some other idea that you want to do, no worries, you can totally do that. But I just think that this can be a really great way to add freshness to your storytelling content. Okay, what I want to share with you next is something really cool. Each of you has the power to edit the newsletter that your subscribers get every week or every other week. It just depends on how much you post. So if you don't post for a whole month, then you post that month, your subscribers will get your content once a month. If you post every week, your subscribers will get it every week. If you post every other week, you kind of get it. So it really just depends on how much you post. That's how much, but they would never get it on a daily basis. Like if you did two blog posts one day after the other, it won't show, it will wait till the next week. So a week is the like limit. Um, but what I'm gonna have you guys do is I'm gonna work with you on creating what you want your newsletter to look like. So I'm going to show you some examples. I'm gonna use, I think, Chloe. So I'm showing you my email inbox right now because what you'll see is you'll see just what it looks like when someone gets um, your blog post feeds from that week or that month. So Chloe, for example, it says Chloe from the teen, and then it says the teen journal here. And then it says, yay, read my new post on Palette with Fiction. That's the name of her blog. Comment and let me know what you think. But all of this can be edited. You can say whatever you want, although it has to be the same, like every week. You don't go and change it every week. You just do one thing. So this obviously like fits for every post. So when I click on it, what do I see? Well, we get a little taste of her blog. So we have not only her title, but the actual font from her title, from her blog. We have the picture, we have all of the information, we even have her logo. And then here, this is just, the types of things that you can change and customize. Sit back, relax, and catch up on my new blog posts. I just made that, but I want you guys to like write whatever it is you want to write there that represents you. And then what happens is automatically they get your most recent blog post. And even you see the colors like this background's white, this background's pink. And then at the end, like this, it's only really long because this is her contest story. Usually blog posts are much shorter. And then you have like all of the blog posts down here that, are part of her recent publications. And then here, down here is like kind of a brown color. All of this is customizable. You can customize what you say here, you can customize what you say here. And so, how do you get to customize what your readers get every week? Well, if you sign into the Teen Journal account and you click on the Teen Journal journey, you get here, and you'll realize that this is something that you get to do when you get to Wonder Writer. Now, some of you guys are already way past Wonder Writer. So what I think Kayla and Evelyn, like you and I would probably just work on this in class together. But Kayla, since we might not be meeting for a little while, you might want to book this style session with me. So what you would do is you'd come here to the book a one-on-one blog newsletter style session. When you click it, it shows you that you get to click here and set up a one-on-one 30-minute session with me at, any one of these available times. Let's say you want to do it on the 10th at 8:30, or you want to do it on the 9th at noon. And then we hop on the call together and we completely edit your newsletter. And that's just a fun way, if you really are a blogger, these are the things you have to do. So it's very entrepreneurial. You're kind of learning how to market yourself, learning how to engage with your subscribers. And this is just another fun way besides your blog itself that you get to make that contact with them. So just start thinking about what you might want to have in here. And Evelyn, I'm going to be meeting with you soon and we'll do this together. Kayla, I'll meet with you on Monday, so we may do it. If we don't have time, though, I'll have you book a session. And then Anna, whenever you make it to Wonder Writer, you're going to go to the Teen Journal Journey and you're going to book your style session. And that's where we're going to do that. So that's just another kind of fun, exciting way to keep this whole blog thing be like customizable from your way that you want to contact your subscribers, the way you want to engage with them. And there's just tons of things that you can do. I create stuff for you guys, but that doesn't mean I'm not open to you saying, hey, is there any way I can add an extra image here? Or hey, I created something on Canva. I created a logo, I created a banner, I want to change this, I want to change that. So the reason why I do that is to make it feel like your own as much as possible. For me, that's what would keep me motivated, right? If someone was always choosing stuff for me to say, I'd be like, oh, well, it's your blog, not my blog. So always think about how, if you really do want to get more subscribers, you want to get more people onto your blog, then the only way to do that is to have your own style and your own personality. So what I want you to think about, your little homework assignment, is just review your blog. Is there anything on it that you feel like could be reaching out to your audience a little bit more? Do you want to add a feature and you want to ask me if it's possible to add this or add that? Maybe I'll say yes. Maybe there is a way to make your vision come to life. Maybe there's a layout style. And so when you get to Wonder Writer, you get that personal style session. But when you get to Spirited Storyteller, which I think some of you are already past that too, you get another style session, but it's not about the newsletter. It's just about creating your blog and making your blog look cooler. So we hop on together. I show you the kind of back end of how the blog site works. And we just get to do things like colors and banners and logos and all that kind of stuff. So again, just more motivation just to keep on blogging and keep on building your presence. My last little tidbit of advice for you guys is about subscribers. If you want people to subscribe to you more, I would say the best thing you can do right now is go to subscribe to other people's blogs, because the moment they get a notification that's like, oh my gosh, Evelyn just subscribed to your blog, the first thing they're going to do is go subscribe to your blog too. And that is really cool. At the moment, we have a small group of students in the program, but it's going to be growing and growing and growing. And it will be a lot easier to get more subscribers when there's more people involved in the program. But at the moment, we just have who we have now. So the best thing you can do is go and show other people that you support them. Comment. If you comment on another person's blog or blog post, they get that notification and they're like, Kayla. Kayla who? Anna what? Oh, let me go check out their blog. It's a way to get eyes on your blog and your blog post. And the most important thing about that is that you're not writing for no one. You're not writing for this empty space, right? You're writing for people who will actually read it. And that's the only kind of writing I like to do. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to write if I know no one's going to read it. It's just like sad. No, it's not. I've written a lot for myself because it makes me a better thinker and allows me to reflect on myself. But there is a point where I just really love to communicate with other people, and that makes me a little bit more motivated to write. So if you're in the same boat as me, please go subscribe to more people, comment on other people's not just blogs, but also their blog posts too, right? If you actually comment on an individual blog post, they're like, oh, someone read my blog post. It's the greatest feeling ever. So go support people, and then they will support you back. You'll get subscribers back. Anna, since you just created a blog, I'm going to create an email to everyone just saying, hey, Anna just created a blog. Go check it out. Hope that's cool with you. And I wanted to just put something in the chat for you guys. This is the goodie bag, the burgeoning blogger activity we did today. When I put it in the chat, you guys are going to click it and it's going to ask you to make a copy. So go ahead and do that now so I don't have to like email this to you or anything. But what I'd like you to do once you do make a copy is go ahead and share it with me. info@theteenjournal.com. So don't forget to change your editing access to viewer or editor, whatever you want me to be. And that way I can just see how you guys are taking some of these sentence openers. And remember, do this for whatever blog post you're working on. You don't have to do it just to do it. You can really, like if you're doing the how-to contest for July, you might want to think about, can I use one of these for that how-to contest? So, wow, that was 30 minutes of just me talking. That was crazy. Thank you guys for reading and participating and listening. And I can't wait to help you guys create your newsletters. So we'll do that either in our lessons together or you can book a style session. And any questions? Okay, have a great 4th of July. Just so you know, there's no Just Right on Thursday because I'll be on vacation. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday for the Just Right session, and have a great rest of your week and happy holidays. Bye. Thank you.